as a matter of fact, I kind of have chills right now because as I was walking up on it and I was telling you guys the story, I could see something looking back at me. Check this out. Welcome back. So, we have returned once again for another expedition. And where are we today? Well, as you can probably tell, we're in a quite dark and creepy environment. In a location that I don't much want to share the name of, mostly out of its own protection. But the other reason being is I don't have much to go on to verify the history of this place other than the paranormal experience that I had myself only a few months ago. I was not expecting it. It was just a regular urban exploration at the time, but we had quite the encounter, and today it seemed like the opportune day to try to go ahead and revisit the site of it and see if we can get something to occur again. So let's see what we can get. So what I'll go ahead and do is tell you all the story of what occurred as I make my way up there. So as you can see where I'm walking right now, this is pretty thick forest. And the first time I ever saw this place, it was much like it is now. In fact, it was actually summertime. The foliage was a lot more dense and very well guarded. Could only see the roof of an old dilapidated house. Just the kind of place we like to explore. And I waited for a while, first scouting it to make sure the potential of getting caught and busted while inside was to a minimum, and also waiting for the foliage to die down so that we could get to the building much easier. On that day, I finally made my way to this really cool abandoned building. And it was kind of, the typical abandoned house. You got a bit of graffiti, you got damage, you have stuff falling apart. Well, I made my way in, and one of the first things I encountered on the first floor was a toy rocking horse. And when I found it, it was laying on its side. And it was in relatively good condition. Actually, I was kind of surprised to still see it in the building, considering the vandalism and its somewhat creepy aesthetic. I figured it had been the very kind of thing that most of the people doing that would have stolen. But I picked it up, I observed it a bit, I set it up on its side, stood it upright. And, didn't think much of it. Continued on with my exploration. And as I do, I make my way up to the second floor. And up on the second floor, I start hearing noises down below me. Now, I had taken pretty special care to make sure that nobody had followed me up. And they hadn't. And there's some pretty good vantage points. I start looking around, seeing if anybody had followed me into the house, up the trail, or what have you, and couldn't see anything. And I hear the noises inside the house. They sound, quite frankly, like footsteps. They kind of are running, so to speak. Little light footsteps, right to left. So I walk over to the staircase, and I look down. And I call down, is anybody there? At which point, I hear a bang on the wall, followed by It sounded like a little kid giggling and more footsteps. At that point, that's when I took out my camera and began recording and went downstairs, and at that point I found nothing. The only thing I found, not really in time either, was the very tail end of the rocking horse I set up, just slightly swaying, ever so slightly. Now, what was interesting about this is after I took all of my pictures and whatnot that day and posted them up, I decided to share them with a weird New Jersey page. And the well, you'll see in a moment what I'm talking about. But when I posted it on the Weird New Jersey page, somebody had DM'd me and actually told me that they lived in this house as a younger child, and they actually knew of a death that had occurred in the house on the property. It was a little girl who died of pneumonia. So had kind of verification that there had been a death on the property. But so we'd like to see, here is the house in question. And as a matter of fact, I kind of have chills right now because, you know, as I was walking up on it and I was telling you guys the story, I could see something looking back at me. Check this out. I know y'all see it just like I do. That is, of course, the rocking horse that I was just telling you all about. And this is most definitely not the spot I left it. It was actually a little deeper in the house. Crazier still, because after the post I made, a bunch of people had said they were going to come looking for it, wanted to take it. And funny enough, yeah, I would not give in where this place was, but yeah, it's definitely moved. So maybe somebody did find their way out here and found it and thought better of it, or perhaps it has moved around on its own once again. But that is certainly creepy. Well, since we've had that greeting, let's go ahead and have a look-see around the rest of here. Gotta really watch where I put my weight. This floor is in pretty rough shape. Especially knew I wasn't trying that. Those stairs moved a heck of a lot when I put my weight on them the last time. Let's see if the common damage Urbex right there. These weak floors. There's our buddy still standing vigilant. Well, go ahead and try to replicate what we had before. As you can see, we're quite alone in here. This house is very much like your stereotypical abandoned houses that the kids have learned about and decided to make their victim. So as we've known from the very pristine eminent domain houses, as I've shared before, those ones are very much so not known and kind of protected, and aren't subjected to the same kind of things. Definitely feel something here. Yeah. Temperature is actually dropping quite a bit. Who knows, maybe we'll have a little something show up on camera for us. This place has definitely had recent visitors. The smell of spray paint is very strong. Thanks for the warning. Yeah, that is spongy. It's crazy how quiet it is up here compared to the bottom half. You can hear the sounds of outside, but up here it is really silent. Whoa, we got a bat. Check that out. That's cool. This nearly plinked off my forehead a moment ago. Well, you all know we love our animals here on this page. Appears to be your regular brown bats. Luckily a nice healthy looking one too. He doesn't seem to be suffering from the white nose virus that many of them around here have. Well, it's about this point here where things started to go strange, so let's see if indeed things go strange like they did before. Is there anybody here with me right now? I heard a rumor that a little girl had passed inside of this home. Is said little girl the one who's still here? Are you the owner of that rocking horse downstairs? I don't know if anything is showing up or not, but the temperature is still dropping rapidly. You can see our little friend is still right where we saw them when we walked in. Anybody here want to come say hi? This rocking horse of yours is very nice. Did you not like it last time when I touched it? I'll respect your wishes this time and not repeat the offense. But if you could be so kind as to do anything to let me know you're here, anything at all, I would appreciate it. What's that? Is that you? I hear almost like a, I don't know, like a whisper or something. Well, that was strange. The camera inexplicably cut off as I was saying my farewells to whomever is here. Hopefully they were kind enough to make their presence known today. Well, until next time, from Soul Stealer 9Y0L and my haunted object friend, thanks for watching.